Okay,
Here we are.
so I just wanted to go ahead and get the meeting started on time. And we're waiting on Fred. I haven't heard from him, but why not jump in and get started? That Fred would expect us to do just that. So does anybody have anything they wanted to share off the top?
Well, I just want to continue to encourage you guys to go back through your files. I think there's a total of 6 people now that I've talked to personally, a couple each week, that are, going ahead and buying the weight packs and going to give it another try. So I am really encouraged by that. And I only have one brand new person so far, but the other one's coming. I know it.
Awesome.
But just to encourage you, it's not a waste of time to those who've called and fallen by the wayside, go back, because like I say, I think I'm up to 6 now. So
that's great. And I see Fred. So perfect introduction, Fred. We didn't, can you hear us?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we are already recording. We just got started because we wanted to respect everyone's time, and I knew that you would expect us to start without you. So
Of course.
that's as far as we got, basically. But
And I'm going to give her an apple later.
Oh, you better. I'll give her a kiss or two too.
did you bump your head?
No, I actually missed the gym. This is training, by the way. I missed the gym on Friday, okay, because I slipped a couple of vertebrae out, number 2 and number 4. It's happened before, and I go to one of those, what do they call them? Atlas orthogonal chiropractors. And, you got to take the x-rays, and then he goes and draws on the x-ray to tell you, big surprise, he told me my head wasn't screwed on straight. Like, seriously, I just spent $400 for you to tell me something I've known all my life. They've been telling me that all my life. And so anyway, I got adjustment. We're probably about 20% back to normal, but I could not figure out a good reason not to go to the gym. Well, I have plenty of good reasons not to go to the gym, It's Monday. That's as good a reason as any, as far as I'm concerned. But I didn't miss the gym a second day. I missed it on Friday because I could not move. But I didn't miss the gym, although in retrospect, that may not have been the best deal here. I just literally walked in the door and got an ice pack. So my apologies for my tardiness. By the way, we're a team, which means if one member doesn't show up, the team doesn't play? No, of course the team plays, right? Okay, and I'm not going to elevate myself beyond even my ego tolerating, and my ego can tolerate a lot. Trust me, I've got a big ego. But if the quarterback doesn't show up for the game, do you call the game? Do you just default lose? No, somebody's going to step in and throw the damn ball, right? Even if it's the one that you hike the ball to, and then he hands it off to the runner because the runner made it, right?
Right.
I hope either you hated the football metaphor or you realize I'm not that much of a sports guy, one or the other, right?
That's okay. You got the basics.
All right. Very good. Anything I need to know from the time that prior to me coming on, or can I just get started?
Get started.
Okay. Very, very good. First of all, kudos to Marianne. You stepped up. I've been listening to the replay, which I always do, except I just haven't this week had a chance to do that, where I'm sitting down studying it. So I've listened to it a few times, did get a few notes. I don't want to tell you how fast I was driving when I was taking a few notes. But kudos to you, Marianne. You worked with me on your story without having, you wanted your notes you'd been working on for several days. And I said, nah, forget that. Just go with the flow. And you did it, and good for you. Okay. That's the kind of stuff we need to do. Now, we'll do a couple preliminary things. I want to cover a couple of things from last week. I want to run into some stuff for right now, and then I want to leave a little bit of time for you guys to feedback to me on what we need to be doing. A couple of things from last week. This is really important that you get this down, okay? Make this, this is part of those basic fundamental activities that we do. And if you just get, 4 or 5 or 6 things that we do in our profession that you can master, you'll make $1 million, okay? Long before Zija, I'd made a couple of $1 million, and I'm going to tell you right now, I've learned way more about high-level leadership from David Moses in the last 12 years than I ever learned in the first 10 years. In the first 10 years, if you think, let's say I'm a general today, okay? Well, I entered Zija as a lieutenant or a captain. I'd already earned 7 figures a couple times, and I just made it up to lieutenant. The point I'm trying to make is you don't have to be that good if you simply master a handful of things, and then you just do the deal. Every day, day in and day out, 90-day game plan, do another one, do another one, do another one. A year into the business, you're going to have a decent income. Keep doing it again, you're going to have a good income. Keep doing it again, you're going to make a fortune. What's the secret? Master a handful of things. 5 or 6 things make 80 or 90% of the difference in your business. And 3 years makes 90% of the difference in your business. My Zija story, real simple. First year, basic make a living income. Second year, well into 6 figures. Third year, more than double the first 2 years combined. It is an exponential growth curve. What's the difference between me, who was in Zija for 36 months, and somebody else who was in Zija for 36 months and didn't get those results? One thing. I did the basic 5 or 6 things we do, and I did it every day for 36 months. In less than 1,000 days, I set up the rest of my life. How many years does somebody have to work to get into retirement, and how many people are hitting retirement age and they still ain't got the deal taken care of, right? All right, so I apologize for showing you my armpit. That's kind of rude, but trust me, if it didn't hurt so much right now, I wouldn't do this, okay? My vanity just prohibits me from doing this kind of thing. Yeah, Brian, you show off, I swear. Every time I flex, Brian goes, yeah, how come they don't look like this? Okay, so couple of things, all right? We talked about the introduction protocol, okay? You introduce the, I don't have a good term for this right now off the top of my head. You introduce the important person, the third-party validation, the upline, the story, to the secondary level person, which is the prospect. Okay, it's a posturing thing. Just get used to it. If you're wanting to get third-party validation for your prospective customer, prospective distributor, or even your new distributor that you're introducing to the upline, because you want to give them as many upline opportunities as they support as they can, you always introduce the higher ranked person to the other individual, okay? Or it's the other way around, but you take the secondary person who is your prospect and say, I want you to meet this person, okay? It's a posturing thing. It's what I was taught when I was, Mom said, you always introduce your teacher to the mother, okay? So for instance, Mom, this is my teacher, Mr. So-and-so. And then introduced to Mom. She explained to me why that is, because you're honoring and recognizing and edifying the important person, okay? I want to double check and make sure we're muted, okay? Somebody, let's see, Mandy Stahl, make sure you're muted.
It's Barbie, but I'm on her computer.
Oh, I know it's Barbie. I was just pointing out that it didn't say
Sorry.
Barbie.
Yeah.
By the way, when you log in, if you go through the Zoom app, you can change the login name. Okay? All right, so introduction protocol. Introduce the higher ranked person to the lower ranked person, and you edify them by, you know, rank, edify them by results, and always throw in really nice guy. Okay, you'd edify me by saying something like, and let's use Isogenics. This is Fred Holmes. He's one of the top income earners in the company. We don't have terms like diamond and what have you. We do have terms in Isogenics like director, manager, executive. Personally, I'm not so sure those terms are relevant to a potential prospect because they don't mean anything. They're more like corporate terms. Okay, I'm not 100% sure I would use them. Zija terms help. You could say, this is my upline, you know, Bob, he's a bronze, he's a silver. Now, they have no idea what that means, but they mean something because they're already in the metals, right? You know, they're not fourth place. You know, emerald, diamond, double diamond. What's double diamond? I don't know, but it's twice as good as a diamond. Our ranks had some significance, but you always edify your upline by in terms of, you know, rank, results, top income earner, and you have to be careful about that. If you're talking to somebody, you know, that maybe is looking for, you know, 1,000 hours a month, you introduce them to Fred Holmes, multi-million-dollar earner, probably not going to get, you know, the same kind of feel as he's created a phenomenal income doing this part-time from home. Okay, so where are we at here? It's almost 15 minutes. Now, then you cross, oh, and then you add the third step of the introduction protocol, and he's a really nice guy, or he's been a really big help to me. What you're establishing in the prospect's mind is the person you're introducing him to can help them build their business, is a really nice person. That's all planting in the mind of the prospect the anticipation of what they're going to experience when they get to talk with your upline. Okay, then you immediately cross-edify or introduce your upline to the prospect. When you introduce your prospect, you're going to do three things again. You're going to say something nice about them. You're going to say something relevant about them. And then you're going to say something that would lead your upline to understand what it is they're looking for. So, you know, example, all right. You know, I'm introducing, you know, Brian to my upline. I'd say, and Mary Lou, this is Brian, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, been very experienced in real estate and has done very well there. And he's looking for, you know, he'd be open to hearing about creating residual income that he just doesn't have in his real estate business. Now, what just happened there? Brian's sitting back going, first he's going, oh, well, I'm being introduced to this guy, Fred Holmes. I mean, you know, he must walk on water or something like that, right? You know, what am I, Limburger? And so then all of a sudden you're introducing Brian to the great Fred Holmes. And you start out with going, you know, Brian's a really nice guy. Well, Brian likes that because he is a really nice guy. And so you're identifying something about him that Brian takes personally, or great family man, great with his kids, you know, whatever. Okay. But it's something that's about Brian's personality that he resonates with, something significant. Significant to what? The purpose of the call. Okay. So, been very successful in real estate. Well, guess what? We want to work with successful people anyway. People that are successful in one venture will tend to be successful in the next venture. And the third thing you said was an indication of what he might be interested in hearing about, so that your upline has an idea of where to go with the conversation. Okay? The three-way calling protocol is one of those basic things that if you master that, and it ain't that big a deal, it's not brain surgery, if you master that, you've got one of the handful of things that'll make you wealthy in our profession. Okay? Now, the three-way calling protocol, or the third-party validation. When you're doing the third-party validation, you're going to do four things. We talked about this last week. And I realized that when we went through it, when I was hearing the recording, want to make sure we got this down. Okay, so here's the 4 things you're going to do. You're going to establish rapport, and it doesn't take much. Okay, being introduced to Brian, so Brian, you've been in real estate. How long where here in Southern California? How long you been doing that? He goes, oh, well, been, blah, blah, blah. I go, that's really interesting. I've met a number of real estate agents. I've actually been doing some real estate investment. So all Brian knows is that we have a certain connection. All right. I think the example I used last week was, oh, so where are you from? Ohio? I've been in Ohio. Oh, wow. There's a connection, right? You got kids? I got kids too. Do you love your kids? Wow, so do I. Folks, it doesn't take much, but just want to establish a little bit of rapport so they can kind of see that we're a lot like them. Okay, people buy from people they like and people they trust. Next, ask some questions. So tell me, I know real estate's been up and down and that sort of thing. What's going on with you right now, Brian? Brian already knows why he's on this conversation. He's being prospected by, Mary Ann to join the business. Brian's going to be open to sharing if you introduced me properly. Okay, really nice guy, loves helping people. If I established enough rapport, he's going to be open to telling me what's going on in his life. If he's telling me everything is great, he doesn't need us. But I guarantee you that's not what he's going to say. He's going to be saying, things, real estate's a challenge right now. COVID-19, nobody wants to buy, everybody wants to sell. They need money. Nobody wants to buy. They got no money, I've been, working out at the gym and having problems with, shoulder pain and this pain and that pain. He's going to tell me what the challenges is. Number 3, ask questions is number 2. Number 3, I want to share my story. And I gave an example of, well, that's interesting, Brian. I've had similar situation. Would it be okay with you if I shared what happened to me? Permission-based selling. Number 4, I'm going to lead to further action. Now, during that conversation, I said something like, don't try to close, ask for the order until you know they're ready to buy. I'm going to give an asterisk there. There's nothing wrong with doing, trial balloons, right? Trial closes to see where they're at. If you're not really good at, reading the facial expressions, if you're doing a Zoom, or a lot of people tend to be somewhat guarded. Maybe they're not, open to really sharing where they're at. There's, there's various ways to test the waters. If we had something that would help you with that, would that be something you'd want to learn more about? Yes or no, right? And if I'm leading to a yes answer. But this concept of the 4th item there, the 4th point, what you as the upline validator does to lead to further action, that doesn't necessarily mean asking for the order at that moment. It could be something like, well, let me ask you this, Brian. It does sound like what you're looking for, an opportunity to have a second business, because you can't give up real estate right now. I get that. Okay. If you had an opportunity to develop a second business without interfering with your primary business, something that you could start earning money with right away, something that could create a long-term residual income, something that we could start now on a part-time basis, what questions would you have that would make you comfortable getting started? That, by the way, is a trial close. If he has no questions, he's ready to get started. If he has questions, he's helped me understand what additional information I need to lead him to. Lead him to further action. The further action could be to buy. The further action could be to get some additional information. Further action could be to put him on the line with, Pat Anderson, because it's pretty clear that Brian has a lot of knowledge about the products, and that's one of the things he's sticking on. He hasn't tried the products. He hasn't researched the products. He needs third-party validation of the value of the products. Okay? So though you get those 2 things down, folks, you're halfway there. Now, here's the second part of that. You got to be doing it. And I want to cover this. I'm going to try and do this in like 4 minutes. We've just finished up essentially the first third of our 90-day game plan, our 90 days together as a team. Question number 1. Did you set goals for the first 30 days? If you set goals, okay, and if you can't say yes to question number 1, make a little asterisk. There's a problem. You can't achieve goals you haven't set. Question number 2. If you did set goals, did you achieve those goals? Okay, and this ain't a come to Jesus meeting. I'm not going to ask, how many of you are ready to take Lord into your heart? Okay, I'm not doing an altar call right now, but I might. I might. If you did set goals, did you achieve them? And regardless of whether the answer is yes or no, and I'm talking about question number 2, not question number 1. Question number 1, the answer is no. You never had a starting point. But if assuming you did set goals, question number 2, did you achieve those goals? Regardless of what the answer is, question number 3 is why? Think about it. If you achieved your goals in the first 30 days, what were those goals? I want to hit consultant. Okay. What's it take to hit consultant? 2 customers, 2 distributors, 2 people that would buy $300 worth of product just to get you off their back. Right? That's what it takes to be a consultant. If your goal was to be a consultant in the first 30 days and you achieve that goal, third question, why? What was it you did to achieve your goal? Because if you can identify what you did, then you keep on doing it, you'll be able to achieve the same level of results in our upcoming 30 days. And I'm using that as a generic term. We got, 26 days left in this period under Zija, but 30-day game plan. If you didn't achieve that goal, why? Because whatever the reason was you didn't achieve that goal, you want to make sure you don't keep doing that. Pretty simple stuff so far, right? So we're in the second 30 days. Each one of you, and again, I'm not asking for the altar call. Each one of you has to make a decision, be honest, and be honest to yourself, deal with yourself in integrity. Did you set goals? Did you write them down? Did you look at those goals on a daily basis? Even if you know where the destination is, if you don't check every once in a while, you'll forget. Was it Cincinnati or Toledo we were heading for? I mean, they're both in Ohio. They're a long ways apart, but they're both in the same state. Okay. Did you set goals? Okay. Number 2, did you accomplish your goal? And figure out why. Why didn't you, or why did you? Okay. Last item. What's your goals for the second period? Because there's, I love being with you guys, but I'm gonna be real candid with you. We can hang out and do anything you want. If I'm going to spend time with you, I'm hoping that what you want is to receive value from the time. And the only way that you can receive value, you'll receive value from just hanging out with me and me telling you stuff. Okay. I trust me. All right. I listen to it and I go, damn, that was good, Fred. And there'll be some meaningful stuff there and it'll make you feel good. Okay. However, let me tell you what you really want to be focused on is, did this affect your business in a meaningful way? Did you get results? And so if you couldn't answer the first, well, everybody can answer the first question. Did you set goals? It's either yes or no. If you didn't, set goals today for the next 30 days, or this period, if you will, the next 4 weeks. If you did set goals, great. You need to move to the second question. Did you accomplish them? Okay, either yes or no. And do you know why? You should be able to figure out why. And I just picked up a little bit there on as I was stepping in on Barbie. Barbie's doing the deal. She's doing the deal, picking up new customers. And that's great. That's what we want. Pick up a zillion customers. The distributors will come, all right? One of the most pure and authentic ways to build a business is to take that customer, get such great results, they call you up and go, I got 4 girlfriends, want to buy this stuff right now. Is there any way that I can become a distributor? Because I'd like to get my husband on the product. I'd like to get my husband on the product, and if I could make some extra money, I'd get him on the product, and he wouldn't bellyache about seeing the Visa card, right? See, you'll always, if all you did was get customers, you'll find distributors. So for this upcoming week, and I apologize, I'm running out of time again. What the heck does Fred talk about? Gosh, he just uses up that 30 minutes like that. What I want to talk about is each one of us setting some kind of baseline activities. Okay, and it could be something as simple, and I'm not going to dictate what you want, what you should be doing. You're going to have to make that decision based upon your goals, your level of aspiration, and so on. But I'm going to suggest things like being comfortable and competent in sharing your 60-second story, whether it be a product story or an income story. It might be the kind of thing where, just to make this effective within the time frame we have available to us, doing a 60-second recording and posting it to the group, okay, or sending it to the group. I think everybody has, most everybody's cell phone number, all right, or sending it to Kate and letting Kate post your 60-second story on the team YouTube channel. Honestly, I love that. Because then that way each one of us knows the other person's story. And then if you do that, be open to critique. We've gone through this enough. If you go back and review the different different recordings of the different meetings that we've had, you've heard me critiquing and trying to help improve the testimonial, going back to the basic 3 things. What are they? Your background and motivation to get started, how you got started and what you did, and results. And then the big red flashing, training is, if it's not important to say, it's important not to say it. Each one of you can help the other person in critiquing. So consider that. See who's willing to send the video to Kate. Kate, from the phone, if somebody texted you their 60-second story video, you should be able to post that on the YouTube channel, right?
As long as it's under a minute.
As long as it's under a minute?
Yeah, if to text it, I don't think I can. I think the video capabilities is like, it needs to be under like 58, 59 seconds is okay. Maybe just be better to email it and actually send it to Brian, because he's the one that's going to upload it.
Okay, so Kate's going to put Brian's email address in the team message list.
Yeah.
Making a commitment to doing 3-way calls, whether it be Zoom meetings, whether it be phone calls, so you can start practicing being the upline and sharing your story with one of your teammates, or practice being the new distributor and having one of your teammates be the third-party validation. See, there's no substitute for doing the deal. You can get great ideas, you can get inspiration, you can get thoughts, motivation, what have you, from being here for 30 minutes. Okay, because, I'm pretty motivational, right? This is yes, right? But, warm, fuzzy feelings don't put money in your bank. Okay, What puts money in the bank is doing the deal. And to get the money in the bank, you got to share the product, got to share the opportunity, you got to teach others to do the same, you got to follow the system, introduction, or invitation, presentation, validation. And this is, we're in our second third of the 90-day game plan that we're going to be together. In a perfect world, we would have already done this in advance of last month. So last month, we could have been focused on a 90-day game plan. Here's an example. I'm going to get one customer or distributor a week for the entire month. So we've just finished this up. If we've accomplished our goals, we might have 3 customers and 1 distributor. Now, what are we going to do in the second part of the 90-day game plan? We're going to take that 1 distributor and we're going to help them get their first 2 customers in rank advance. We're going to take those 3 customers and we're going to get at least 1 referral from each one. And so we're compounding the business we got in the first 30 days, we're compounding in the second 30 days, but we're going to do one more thing. We're going to get a brand new freshman class this month, which means in addition to the, augmenting what we did in the first 30 days with now what we have to work with, we're going to get 4 more new people. And, 1 a week, customer distributor makes no difference, 1 a week. And now they might all come in, all 4 of them in the last week, but that'll work, won't it? So this 30 days, we're bringing in the next freshman class. And maybe we'll get 2 customers, maybe we'll get 2 distributors. And so when we go into our third segment of the 90-day game plan, the people from the first one was a distributor, we're helping his new people at rank advance. We're taking the customers that we got and we're getting more referrals, or we're showing them how they can be in the business. The people came in the second 30 days in our last, trimester, third of the 90-day game plan. We're doing what we did with the first ones. We're augmenting it, okay? This is how you create momentum. And this is the difference between being at 12 months from now with an organization that's producing thousands of dollars in volume versus wishing you'd done this, okay? Not brain surgery, okay? Nothing magical about this, but it's having a game plan and a focus and doing the deal. So kudos go out to Debbie Balmert. She's the first person that did third-party validation with me this past week, did a Zoom call. Kudos to Ernest. He's engaged me now in 1, 2, 3 conversations with his new distributor in Belgium. First one was third-party validation. Following that, she made a decision to get in, purchased a couple $100 worth of product. They're still doing Zija product out there. Second was, the get started meeting where we went through the training and that sort of stuff. And then this last visit, which was at this morning, we set up her game plan. Okay, so what I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to have each one of you, whether it be with me or whether it be with one of your team members, it's insignificant to me, but start doing that. Set up 3-way calls, preferably 3, third-party validation Zoom meetings. Let's get them in, let's get them trained, and let's get them going. That's the 3 meetings we've had over the last 3 weeks with Ernest, new gal, and Timmy in Belgium. And I got to tell you, I'm excited for her. This gal, I mean, you never know. You never know. It's always a crapshoot. It's like, what's that line from Forrest Gump? It's life's like distributors are like a box of chocolates. You never know, right? Something like that, right? But I'll tell you what, she's saying all the right things and she's highly motivated and I'm excited for her. So, okay, I'm 5 minutes late now. I'm gonna let you continue on without me. Reach out to me individually if there's something that we can talk about during the week. Love you guys. Keep up the good work.
Fred,
Love
can
you,
you
Fred.
clarify, do you want
Thank you.
our story written or a video?
Video.
Video.
All right, you guys. We'll see ya.
Bye, Fred. Thanks.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Fred. Thanks. Thank you, Fred.
So I know a few of you had reached out and we're looking to share your story or work with it? Does anybody want to do you want to set up the pairings now, or do you want to just work at it offline and just, reach out to each other individually and make a date to practice our stories?
I'm going to work offline. I haven't figured it out yet.
All right.
But I did appreciate the help that you gave me, and I'll work it into what I've got.
Okay, cool. If you
Okay,
need more
thanks.
help, let us know. We can,
All right.
I can't help. Maybe Robin can, or Ernest,
Okay.
somebody.
All right, thanks. I gotta
So are you
go.
gonna post
All right,
the
thanks.
email where we're supposed to send the copy of our story?
Yeah, Brian, can you go? I'll have Brian put it in there now. It's Brian Ridgely at Gmail.
Okay.
It's BRYANRIDGLEY. He's gonna put it in the message group. So.
Oh, okay.
All right, somebody's got to
Then
allow.
you'll post those then, right? So we all can watch each other's stories, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, if you guys send them to us, Brian will upload them, and
Yeah.
then we can work.
When you email me a copy of your thing, obviously I'm going to post it. But if there's anything that like you want, I guess, to know, I don't know if you want to be critiqued, if you don't want to be critiqued.
We're gonna have. Fred basically said, let's help each other out. We know.
Right.
And part of the learning process is learning how to critique it too, because as you're critiquing, you're learning it too.
Right.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's all a good thing. It's not
Oh,
judgment
yeah.
and criticism. It's all to help make us all better. So we just have to be brave.
Okay, you said it has to be less than a minute, right? Less than
well,
a minute?
A 60-second.
Yeah, well, our 60-second commercial should be, our 60-second story should be
Less
60
than,
seconds.
okay.
But if you email it, if it happens to be, a minute and 3 seconds, it'll be fine if it's emailed. But if you were going to text
Okay.
it,
I
it
will
would
email it.
have to be
Okay.
under a minute, or I don't think he could
Email's
retrieve it, upload it. So
This week when I was following up on one of the people, she goes, "That's perfect timing. I have my mother from Germany, and I had worked with her, and then she'd gotten discouraged. Anyway, it was two birds with one stone." And then, they were already, well, the mother got kicked out of Zija, so her daughter was going to re-enroll her and get her first one. And then I sent them some of the little training videos just to get them reacquainted with the new isogenics. So, it's good if do you want this story to be kind of like he said, more of our business? You kind of tweak it to whoever you're talking to,
Right.
depending what they're interested in, but just kind of go for that general.
I think it should be our business story more,
Okay.
because I think we're more comfortable telling our product story, because we've gotten personal results from that. So
Okay.
more naturally share your product story, but be prepared. If you need help with it or you want to tweak it, by all means put it out there. But this is primarily about the business story. We can always have a little piece about our product results in there, just not be the focus of the story.
Okay.
All right. So anybody else have anything else? Otherwise, I think we're about ready to sign off.
Sounds good. Week.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Have a nice
Thanks.
evening.
Good night.
All right.
Have a good evening. Okay, bye.
Wait, I have a question. Hello, Kate. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hi. Go ahead.
Hi. So, Kate, I started a blog, and I just launched it a couple of weeks ago. And so I linked my Zija, my Zija website to it.
Okay.
And then I added a product review, and I've done 3 product reviews. I just posted it today.
Awesome.
I don't know if that
Good.
counts. So I did one on the Super Mix, the Smart Mix, and on the protein powder.
Okay. Yeah, that would be a different type of, a video communication, and product reviews certainly are helpful. But the story is what really sells.
I share in there kind of how it's kind of helped me and everything.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to see those and see if I did okay on that. But
Yeah, well, actually what Fred is looking for and what we really want is more of the business story.
I don't have one. I haven't signed anyone up yet.
Okay, but you still have a story about your background and motivation for getting started and what your results have been so far. And you can, you know, and I'm excited to get started, and I've partnered with a great, you know, company and a great team, and that's how you know, introduce any of us as your business partners to be your validation for you.
Is our name changing then from Zija to Isogenics?
It is.
So what will our website be? Will it change?
We don't know what it will
We
change
don't
to.
really, that's going to happen in July,
Oh,
because it's a huge undertaking to have that all together. But at this point, more and more Isogenics products are becoming available in our back office. So we're just using the products that are available in our back office right now.
okay. How do we have to make a YouTube video if we do this? How do we get it to you?
Oh, Brian just put his email. You got to go. That's okay.
Oh, you can just send the file? That's
Yeah,
it?
just, yes, email it to him. It should be around a minute. And then if there's an issue, if he can't upload it or something.
I'll get back with you and let you know.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you'll do it in a format that isn't, you know, the right one to take it up into YouTube, or, you know, that's happened. But it should be fine.
Yeah, keep it
I'll
short.
run
Keep
into
it.
handbrake.
Run it by Kevin if you want too. So,
Okay.
all right. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, guys. Make it a great week.
You too. Congratulations on your new person, Ernest.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.